Feline Territory TV. I'm Lemoy, the Siamese Empress, and today I'm with Xander Raymond.
Hello, baby.
Peace to the aliens and peace to the felines, the Siamese ones. Xander.
Yes, ma'am.
You're on Feline Territory TV. Are you excited?
Definitely, definitely. This
How
is quite
excited?
an experience for me. Yeah, being over here in the UK and, sharing interests and things with you.
So, for those of you that don't know, today we're doing an interview with Xander Raymond, who is a rapper, photographer, writer, you name it, he does it. So, I'm going to be doing an interview with him today. It's going to be quite an interesting one because you've got a big story to tell. Obviously, you're not
Midwest,
from the UK.
Ohio, Columbus,
Okay.
over in the States.
And you've been here for a couple of months, obviously.
Yes.
Chilling out, enjoying the freezing cold.
Enjoying the cold, enjoying getting work done, doing my photo shoots and things of that nature, yeah.
Cool. So obviously when you was a young guy in the States, you started networking with bad guys, if you like, as well as obviously you had your creativity and you wanted to do positive things, but at the same time you kind of got dragged into the negative side of being a youngster in the States.
Yeah, it was more of an environmental type thing, a lot of people blame things on the environment or their surroundings, and I'm not doing that at all. I take full responsibility for everything that I did in my past, even the bad things. I was going through a lot before the illegal activities came about. Family issues. My mother was married to a man that was not my father.
Right.
And I had issues because of that.
Uh-huh.
Thinking, this guy came and took my mother away from me and whatever, because by that time I was living back with my mom. Because my grandmother only raised me until I was 6. I got kicked out, thrown out actually. And it was funny because my mom tossed my cat out right behind me. It was a different cat than the one that I had. But I needed the money, and then that need for survival turned into an addiction, because at that point I had amassed so much money from selling drugs that I didn't need it anymore. But yeah. And
so you was an angry teen. You was angry with your family situation.
When you take somebody from the hood that doesn't have anything and has never had anything, and you give them an unlimited resource to have anything that they want, they kind of lose control, and that's what I did.
So what exactly happened to you? How did you end up in a wheelchair? Because obviously you wasn't born.
I was born a healthy baby boy, yeah, and I was very active. So to have my legs taken away was something extremely drastic and life altering for me, as it would be for anyone that lost something that severely, and that instantly, like,
change your life.
You just imagine sitting there and then that quick, it's gone. I was at a girlfriend's house. I left her house and I actually told her, I got a feeling I'm gonna get shot, and she was like, no, don't leave, just stay here with me. And I was like, the block is calling me, I gotta go out there and make my money. So I left her house, went to the next street, where the street that the spot was on, and then I got a page. And so me and Quincy went to the 3rd street. It was 3 streets in a row. The payphone was on the 3rd street. So we go to the payphone, and we're both at the payphone. I'm finished making my call, then he gets on the phone to make his call. And as he's on the phone, a lot of people call it a drive-by, but technically it was a walk-by because there was no car involved. Right. So there was a couple of guys, and they just basically were drug rivals or whatever. And I basically got caught slipping, They both unloaded. It sounded like the 4th of July. It sounded like massive fireworks going off. Quincy wasn't hit, thankfully. I was several times, and I was instantly paralyzed. And thinking pretty much that they're going to come and finish the job, put 2 in my head, and I'm going to be done with it. This is it. This is the end. Like, this isn't supposed to happen, but when you live that lifestyle, you have to know that that's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
It's only going to be, you're going to get caught up in some legalities and end up in jail, or you're going to end up disabled from a shootout, which happened with me, or you're going to end up dead.
Yeah.
And they put me in the back of the ambulance, and I can remember, one of the only things that I can physically remember is just repeating the words, I think, and I think I finally got it out. And what I was trying to say was, I think I'm paralyzed.
It's amazing.
I should have been dead.
I was just going to say, it's amazing that you are alive, because some people get shot once and die.
Right.
Do you understand?
Exactly.
So that is kind of like a blessing in disguise, if
It
you
is,
like.
definitely. I
You've
feel
been
like
given
I have a
another
greater
chance.
purpose. Like God kept me here for a reason, and it's probably partially to do with the fact that people can get positivity from the fact that I overcame all of that, and I did actually survive. It was a traumatic experience, as you might be able to imagine, and I kind of just went on a downward spiral into this melancholy, this morbid type of mind state, and just I was pretty much surrounded by blackness, surrounded by death. All of my furniture was black. All of my animals were poisonous. Even the cars that I would go out and buy were funeral cars, Cadillac hearses that they drive the bodies to the cemeteries in. I'm used to being this vibrant young man, and I was always active, running around, climbing trees, playing football, riding bikes, doing whatever, even if it was just ripping and running up the street making drug runs. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
None of that. You know what I mean? It's like to have that taken away, and you rely so heavily on your physical, parts of yourself. Everybody wakes up, and a lot of people take for granted things that they have.
At what point did you think that you needed to change your lifestyle?
Well,
at what point did you realise that that's it now, I can't be involved in this kind of
it was odd because that realization didn't come until much farther down the line.
It still didn't hit you.
It didn't. Like you didn't, like the street is in me.
Yeah, you're hard-headed.
You can take, a thug or whatever out of the hood, but you can't necessarily take the hood out of the thug.
You still had that desire to be in that environment.
Like right now, I have a magna cum laude degree without honors. I went, to college, but like I said, all of that didn't come until much later. Like I was still involved with certain things.
Because if you never got shot, you probably would still be in that kind of lifestyle.
If I would have made it this long, statistically speaking, young black males, especially involved in that lifestyle, generally don't make it past 21 years old.
You were a very physical guy. You like to run, sports, climbing trees, etc. Do you think that losing your physical abilities has made you more intellectual? Has it changed your way of thinking, your perspectives?
I've written music before I was paralyzed, but it was shit, to be honest. And the music that I started writing after I was paralyzed was more of a therapy to try to get me through a lot of the things that I was going through mentally and physically at the time. So a lot of those verses that I wrote were specifically paraplegic or dark mental state related. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't change being in a wheelchair, because there's so many things. It's all about perspective. Everything is relative. You know what I mean? So a lot of the things that I write about and a lot of the perspectives that I have photographically, I wouldn't be able to have had I not been in a wheelchair. I'm the only person that I know of. I mean, there's a few other rappers that are in wheelchairs, but nobody has taken hold mainstream. There's not one paraplegic rapper that I know of that's out like that. And the people that are out in the industry that are able-bodied, they can't write what I write because they don't have the experience to be able to do that. I have a particularly singular experience that I can share when I write. Not only my lyrics, but in my books, my children's stories that I try to kind of sprinkle, things that would make a person be more compassionate towards somebody that might have a disability.
Feline Territory TV, in association with Thought Juice Films and Lemoy, the Siamese Empress. I just want to do a big shout out to everybody. Big thank you to all the people that have been supporting me, my music, and all the stuff that I've been doing. Big shout out to Net, Liberator, the Righteous Warrior, BDJ, Xander Raymond, of course, he's here, Tracy, Irene, Presto, and all the people that have been showing me love and support.
Let not one thing stop you. Not one thing. When people tell you that you can't, use that can, take the apostrophe and the T off, and make it a can. People say this is a disability. I don't consider it a disability. I consider it this ability.